No, just no! Please don't do that! Ruining him is the biggest evil there is! Of all the characters in this series, Deku is the one who least need to get the villain treatment. He is a good Samaritan. And and is this how you're gonna end the arc? With an unimmeasurable amount of despair? Hi, for those who are watching, it's the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer, to bringing you this chapter. At the beginning, it was, as I said I want to say in my title, a very, a very happiness beginning, but an extreme um, despair ending. And as I said previously, that ending has so much immeasurable amount of despair that I'm actually afraid of guessing what will happen. But let's begin with it. First of all, everybody but one of the UA have passed, and I like that. Who is the one who did not pass? Well, that's none other than Bakugo. That was extremely satisfying in seeing. Todoroki didn't pass either, but we knew that from last week. That's why I said it was only Bakugo who did not pass. So, so the only one they are the only one who did not pass. But Inasa then does his large hand moments to Todoroki, apologizes that it was his fault for failing. That guy was obnoxious ever since he came, but in the end it turned out that that guy actually had a heart. It was not just he was so extreme with things, he actually was pretty understandable. But Todoroki says it was his fault too, and that you gave me straight to me back there. And that's why I realized something. For him, now Todoroki had to go through more development. At the beginning, he realized that his flame power was his. But now he still deep down thought himself as of the son of Endeavor, which he hates. So Mineta cannot help by mocking the big shots because Bakugo all passed. But this battle is not over yet. It's not surprising that Bakugo did not fail, given how he is, and he's more of a hit first, ask question never type of hero. It's no surprise that he didn't pass. Moreover, he hates cooperation. So they have done this, and each and every one got different points. Tailman got 61, Zero got 84, and Yamo got 94, while Iria got 80, while Deku got 71, which is actually kind of small giving his one. But he is also a bit wondering why this point deduction grading system, there was no addition of points, and anyone who fell below failed. They used system that didn't allow for recovery, and yet why were they allowed to continue until the very end without being asked to exit and drop out? Well, I do wonder, is this, given how the ending of this chapter, I have a very big feeling it's much deeper than you think. And so the sleepy guy begins to talk about many different things. That becoming a hero is to combat villains, conducting disasters, accidents, and reliefs. Even without orders from pro heroes, you're now able to act on your own discretion. However, with the power comes even greater responsibility. Nice, throwing that line in there, and you will grow even larger. But he also begins to talk about even though All Might has exhausted all his power, his existence was one which was so great that in itself it suppressed crime and controlled evildoers. However, from now on, the brakes waiting on their hearts have vanished. Villains will now appear without fail and collapse, and with the collapse of the system, the heroes need to grow even more. And he ends this talking with he hopes that in a far future, all of you will become pro heroes in the end, and that you must not forget to hold on to your provincial hero activity license. Think of it as a full-fledged hero. He also then says to those who failed, there's still a chance remaining for you all after attending special training courses in March. If you produce strong results, you will get your issues. So with that, the exam is over. But uh, the ending, oh my god, the ending. There's no that ending was the only thing I did not want to see. Even though after a while Urahara and Deku talk, they still haven't done all that stuff. So even though Inasa apologizes, even that he doesn't like him that much. Then Deku begins to ask the hairy student on how Kimi could erase her presence. And then it turns out that for the last 3 days she has been acting strange. Well, that's because in the end it turned out that Kimi was Toga, the psychotic 15-year-old blood-sucking villain that works for Tumura. That and the final one was the greatest amount of despair I have felt this entire arc. And I am now honestly afraid. Honestly, very afraid. What will happen now? This explains it all though. Why was Kami Toga so anxious of hearing everything secret about that? Until we figured out it was Toga, we thought that she was just some crazy loony fan. Well, technically Toga became a crazy loony fan of Deku after seeing him covered in blood. But no, it was for something way more diabolical. Somehow during their skirmish, Toga managed to steal a tiny blood sample of Deku, because it turns out that Toga's blood quirk is not drinking blood as a vampire. No, it's called metamorphosis. Every blood she ingests, she can shapeshift and take on their appearance. And now she has Deku's blood. Can you imagine the amount of despair that brings? That is immeasurable amount of despair. Because Tomura has made it perfectly clear he is going to kill Isuki, Midoriya, Deku. But has he also figured out that Deku is All Might's successor? I think now using this little blood, he's gonna kidnap Deku and then infiltrate the school. I mean, Toga's gonna infiltrate the school as Deku and ruin his reputation among the school. Or is he gonna use that for something else? Either way, he is definitely gonna use that for some enormous amount of evil and pettiness. So I do not surprised if it turns out that it's going to be some sort of uh, ruining another person's reputation, or perhaps even to get close to All Might to kidnap him and then to break him even further. So all in all, I liked the beginning. I did not like the ending. I was sincerely hoping the villain alliance wouldn't be involved in this, but that was wishful thinking. It's also very sad in thinking what the Harry student said. The last 3 days, Kami had been acting weird, which meant that 3 days ago, Kami was the normal Kami. Where is she now? And how could Toga play her so well? Well, there's only one explanation. They kidnapped her, tortured her, made her talk about herself, and then killed her. And by stealing all of the blood. Yeah. So all in all, I did not like the ending, and I'm more worried than ever. But now that this arc is wrapped up, what awaits us next? All the students of UA except Bakugo and Todoroki passed. So, will they celebrate? I'm very worried now, but give me your thoughts if you have any.